Yeah, sure.
You two have a wonderful night. Nice meeting you, Jack.
Nice meeting you.
Oh, the hands. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The hand on the shoulder. So Carol, my Jamaican accent might come out throughout this. Carol, I won't call her Carol. Carol. So Carol excuses herself because the guy he recognizes Therese and invites her to the party. Carol excuses herself and she says goodbye. And a hand on the shoulder. I have it paused right now where Carol is reaching her hand out after she had her hand on Therese's shoulder. She's reaching her hand out to shake the guy's hand, and Therese's face is just like at a 180 and looking at her shoulder where Carol's hand was. Back in 2016, I didn't start to post videos on my channel until 2019. So I wasn't even thinking of reacting. So maybe this is a great thing. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise that I'm reacting to Carol. It's amazing too that a lot of queerness, because I did it when I was in high school, college, both actually. When you have these intense feelings for another woman and you can't speak it, you can't talk about it, you can't do what the straights do, and you're living in plain sight, but you can't fully, that can't be fully realized. I know that feeling. And so it's such a thing to hide in plain sight. So Therese and Carol are having this intense thing to the point where Carol has her hand on Therese's shoulder and Therese is just like, There's something about it though, that when you have that intense hidden feelings or hidden, I don't know what to call it. When you have that intense thing with another woman, I think all the Sapphic, all the women-loving women people will know, all the Sapphic people will know, that's very intense. And yeah, when you have to hide in public, yes. And since I haven't watched Carol since 2016, I'm gonna probably see certain scenes with new eyes. So that should be interesting. So, okay, so when they first met, so this is where we are. No, because I just watched Eileen, again, when I was watching Eileen, I was like, it was so reminiscent. The interaction between both of the characters was just reminiscent of Carol. It was just that. The interaction, it was reminiscent of that. So now I get to watch the original, the OGs, which is Carol. OG. I want to make it a point to watch Carol every December. That will be my Christmas tradition. Watching Carol every December will be my Christmas tradition. How about that? Until I make my own Carol. How about that? My own Carol with my own POC suffix, yeah. Expound on the Carol universe, maybe. Anyways, Therese's male friend, comes to our apartment and they're riding a bike.
There's 2 sailings to France in June and 1 in July.
Wow.
So what do you think?
I think it's too cold. I can't think straight.
So she's hitching a ride on his bicycle. And it just looks so awkward. I thought she was side saddled, but she wasn't. I don't remember the scene at all. I Can't Think Straight. Ooh, that's another movie. That's a movie, I Can't Think Straight. If I can find that movie. Seasons, greetings from the management. Oh, the creepy dolls, the dolls. This was before Barbie, right? When did Barbie come out? This was Bella Baby. Wear your hat, Therese. The Maggie doll. Okay. Jeez, these dolls look creepy. And there's Carol. And again, the instant fascination. The similarities between Eileen and Carol, just in the interaction between the characters, not based on the structure. Because again, I was gonna release my reaction to Eileen and then I was just like, it's not enough for me to edit it. Sorry. The instant attraction, instant fascination that Therese has for Carol. Okay, and Carol notices that Therese is watching her Carol asks her, what did you want when you were this age? A train set.
Special
Therese says,
delivery, you could have it in 2 or 3 days. They'd even assemble it for you.
Wow. That's that. So,
that's that. I remember that line. Well, that's that. So Carol is gonna get a train set for her daughter, just based off of this clerk telling her that she had a train set when she was younger. Da 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 da. And she's like, well, that's that. I can't do I'm trying to do the voice. I can't do the voice. I remember that line. Well, that's that. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. It's a wonderful feeling. To the ceiling. Did Carol leave her gloves there on purpose? I think she did. So now Therese is at the bar with her boyfriend. Is he her boyfriend? The way that he was interacting with her in the movie theater seemed like he was her boyfriend. But anyways, Harge. I forgot that his name was Harge. She's like, you've been seeing lots of aunt whatever with mommy, haven't you? Yes. And it's this awkward. Carol adjusts herself and just make herself available. Because before she wasn't doing whatever he wanted to do, but he then mentioned where you're hanging out with this woman with mommy, haven't you? Yeah, holding her sexuality over her head so as to threaten her to keep her in line, basically. I think now that I'm rewatching it at this time and knowing the gist of the story, but now seeing the scenes again with fresh new eyes, it was like a manipulation of like, do you want to see your daughter? Well, you're gonna come with me to this thing or whatever. You're gonna do what I want you to do, basically. Okay, so I totally forgot the scene. So Therese was checking in to see that the train set arrived at Carol, and now Carol calls the department store for Therese. Belevit. Carol invites Therese to dinner, to lunch, whatever. This is the glove lunch, right? Is that what it is? The glove lunch. This is the scene that Kate McKinnon was that Kate McKinnon was parodying a few years ago. It's so funny. The smoking is such a thing, though. The glove lunch. I'm sorry. My man is going to the if I can find the clip, is going to the Kate McKinnon parody. It was for some award show. I forgot what it was.
So glad you found my lost gloves at the department store where you work, and so I wanted to thank you at the traditional 2-woman light lunch with no other agenda whatsoever. I'm Carol.
My name is Kumail. I'll be serving you guys today. Do you want to order now, or should we wait for your husbands?
Good one. So, what kind of name is Belevit? It's Check. Check. What a coinky-dink. Because I was trying to check you out at the checkout counter. Check, please.
Oh, I'm just putting your food down right now. You already want to check?
It is an expression, Kumail. It was part of the seduction. I mean, glove lunch.
It's lovely.
And yours?
Carol.
Carol.
and 2 dry martinis.
Thank you.
And she was hosting it with, and who was she hosting it with? I forgot. And the parody, Kate is just, I can't stop laughing because this scene is just, bitch, this is the 4th or 3rd time. She did it 2 to 3 times when she was at the department store ordering the train set. Carol using her left hand and like touching the back of her head. She did it like 2 or 3 times. And then now she's at her glove lunch with Therese. She did it again. Her hand behind her neck. The thing that I'm noticing now, watching this now, is so interesting. I'm analyzing the Rooney, both of them actually, but Rooney and Kate. Carol is telling her about Harge, his name is Harge. Her eye contact is so intense. It's so, the way that she's following, maybe it's how Rooney is playing the character, but the way that Therese's eyes are just following Carol. I'm sorry. I'm just fascinated when I'm noticing the actors and their craft and how they embody a character. I'm just noticing like how Therese is just This is so intense, bitch. Wow, this is so intense. This is so intense. Therese talks about, she lives alone, but Richard stays by sometimes. Okay, so it was her apartment, but I thought Richard was living with her. Okay, so Richard stays by sometimes. She said he would like to marry her, but she can't even decide. She can't make a decision to save her life, basically. This is why Carol is superior. The intensity and the silence between them. Woo! Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I don't celebrate Christmas, but, Wait. We talk about how lesbians love to U-Haul. I didn't realize that's how the time frame it was. I did not realize the time frame. Carol, by the way, the intensity in this one scene between both of them, the mutual intensity, they're watch each other. I can't even speak. They're watching what each other is eating. Intensity. And Carol is inviting Therese to come to her home this Sunday. Wasn't it Friday? And then it arrived 3 days. Oh no, it's probably not the same week. But anyways, this Sunday, she says, is within the week. They just met. But because a lot of the attraction is hidden, is not spoken of, that's the phrase. Because a lot of attraction between queer, I'm going to specifically speak on queer women. A lot of attraction between queer women, lesbians, queer women, sapphics, women-loving women, is unspoken. That makes it even more intense because you're not being outright and being like, oh, I find you attractive. Oh, let's have a date. It's like, it's the eye contact. It's the lingering looks. It's the inviting you over as a friend and let's see what happens. But the intensity. It's the fishing and seeing, testing the waters. Is this person queer? Is this person friendly? Or is this person really into me? What's happening here? There's so many questions around whenever you can't be outward, you can't be open with your attraction for another woman in public. And so you have to beat around the bush, or you have to, play little games and see, you say one thing, do they react a different way? Do you say another thing, they react another way? You invite them for something, let's see what their reaction is. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm just fascinated because as a queer person, as a lesbian, I know that feeling of that we have to be so careful with it. That's another thing too. When you're aware of your surroundings and you don't trust your surroundings with safety and everything, but you're flirting with another woman, you have to be so careful with it. It's so delicate. And I'm seeing all of that in this scene right now. Therese is looking at her a certain way. Carol is looking at Therese a certain way. And it's just the subtlety. I don't know. I could talk at length about just this one scene because I relate to it so much. I'm assuming this is the 50s or the 60s. You have to be so delicate with how you approach another woman. And when you're in public, and how you navigate that. And this whole scene is a masterclass in that. It's a masterclass in that.
What a strange girl you are.
Why?
Flung out of space.
Oh, here it is. I remember this line. Oh, what a strange... So Therese says, yeah, she'll meet with her this Sunday. What a strange girl you are. Flung out of space. Bitch, I remember this line. Wow, this is such a classic movie. I'm happy I'm reacting to it. It's been a while since I watched it, so it feels like I'm watching certain scenes for the first time, but I'm remembering certain lines, and I was like, yes. Flung out of space. I remember that line. Yo, I love when actors are just... I'm sorry, it makes you feel things. My heart is just like, this is my holiday film. Okay. It's not Home Alone. It's not, what other holiday films is a major Christmas? This is my holiday film. We have it Sapphic. We have it Christmas time. Yes, I'm happy about it. The soundtrack is also great in this movie. Carol is waving. Okay, this scene though, so Carol and her friend, I'm forgetting the character's name. They're driving. She picks her up from this looks like a Oh, you know what this scene reminds me of? This scene reminds me of, I'm going to put it side by side. This driving scene reminds me of a driving scene in Barbie. Because the way that everything is positioned, it looks like a set. It looks purposely like a set. I don't think, was it not meant to look like a set in this? No, but in Barbie, it's, I don't know what the effect that they call it, but I want to put them side by side because that's what there are certain shots that it looks like it's real buildings, and in certain shot, it looks like it's a set. Yeah. Oh, so her friend says, you want to tell me about it, Therese? Carol says, Therese, she returned my gloves. And, okay, so Therese is December 21, Sunday. Therese is writing in her, this shot is so powerful. The way her head is tilted down, just writing, Carol aired 2 p.m. in her diary, in her journal. Oh, so Carol's friends know that Carol and Harge, what's his name, have separated because she's inviting her. If you're going to be alone for Christmas, then you can come over with us. So she knows that. I thought that they were keeping up appearances as if they're together, but okay, so it's known that they're separated. Okay. Therese she got her camera fixed, and so she's a budding photographer. She met this guy through Richard that can link her up with other, connections. They're in this room and he's a writer. He asks her what she takes pictures of. She says birds, like inanimate objects, but not people. She says she feels funny taking pictures of people. And if I remember correctly, she's going to be taking pictures of Carol. So that's interesting that change happens with her taking pictures of Carol. That's interesting. Therese, what's his name? He gets up and he goes to kiss Therese. He kisses her. But as he's about to kiss her, she says, it's getting weird. It's getting weird. Hold on a minute. Nene, let me find a Nene clip. It's getting weird. Is that what she said? Hold on a minute.
It's getting late. I should go.
It's getting weird. But I still need to get this watch.
It's getting late. I should go. I have to go.
Come back tomorrow?
I don't know.
Wednesday?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's funny. It's getting weird. I should go, she says. And he kisses her anyways. Oh, Abby. Okay, so now we're with Harge. And so I think there's a parallel now with Therese and this guy and her walking away and rejecting him. And then there's a parallel with Carol and her ex-husband and her walking away and rejecting him. Now, the thing with Carol, I think it's kind of evident now that I'm rewatching that Carol is a lesbian. And she's a lesbian, right? And she, in the 50s, 60s, and her husband is not letting go of her completely. And also he's controlling her because they share a child together. And she didn't want to go to this party that she just left, right? And she kind of did it. A big thing about it is that she don't want to lose seeing her child. And he has more power, upper hand in the relationship. And so she's kind of going along, playing along so that she doesn't upset him too much. And she wants to be around her kid. So like he kind of has more control on that level. That's what it is. And so she's referencing, I forgot a woman's name. I'm assuming that's a woman that she had an affair with. And so he's in his feelings about it. Abby, she said, okay, Abby is the person. Okay, so Carol picks up, I thought the scene was different. Carol picks up Therese for their outing. Richard is asking questions about where she's going. He's out in New Jersey. They're out in New Jersey. Therese gets into the car. I mean, there's so many. This movie is so iconic because, like, even Richard said, "Get her back safely."
So you get her back safe and sound?
And she said, like an aye captain type of thing with her gesture. And the door closes, and he says, "Love you," but she doesn't hear. so she doesn't respond. I'm sure she probably wouldn't have responded if she could hear him. Because the window's up. I thought the scene played out differently. But anyways, are we gonna get the cinematic shot? Yes, the cinematic shot of them in the car. I'm gonna find a soundtrack for this movie because I'm just already. She says, "I love the snow" as Carl is driving, and it's like close-ups on them, and Therese is just looking at Carol's the close-up on her face and on Carol's hand. The lighting, this lighting. I'm an aspiring cinematographer, so I'm just analyzing certain things. Another thing that about this movie, the cinematic shots, and this is one of them in the car. So Therese is going back through to their relationship. As she's in the car, and then she's thinking about when they were in the car. Okay. It's so cinematic. This is another cinematic shot. They're shopping for Christmas trees, and Therese is putting film in the camera. I remember when I used to do this. I'm a millennial, where I'm the type of millennial that I will experience both pre-internet and post-internet. Pre and post-internet. So, but I remember when I would buy film for the camera, and it was, you had to twist it, you had to turn it with each film reel had to be turned with your thumb. And you actually had to put the film in yourself, and these were the cameras that everybody, before digital cameras. So anyways, Therese is putting film in the camera. Remember now, she said before to the guy that she doesn't take pictures of people. And now she's taking her first picture of an actual person, which is Carol, who she's obsessed with. As Carol is buying a Christmas tree, and then Therese gets out to take a picture. This is such a shot. This is such a classic shot with the snow that's falling around them. Yo. This movie is such a classic. Such a classic. Therese is playing the piano. I love when people play instruments, when actors play instruments. I play the guitar, most of the bass, acoustic, yeah. So I love to see when actors are playing, even if it's just for 1 minute in a scene. I like to see when actors actually are playing an instrument in a movie, in a film that or a show that they're on. I like to see them actually do it. Gay panic. Gay panic. Therese is playing on the piano. Carl walks over behind her and has her both hands on her shoulder. And Therese is just literally in gay panic mode. Right. Harge and... Also, another thing too. Harge and Carl are arguing. He's in the kitchen fixing the sink or whatever he's doing. Carl has the time with her daughter. Her daughter's asleep. But Harge comes over and says he needs to take his daughter over to his mom's or whatever. But it seems like he can't say no to his mom. Like he just has to do whatever. But he's frustrated because, again, he wants his relationship with his wife. But, he's not understanding that his wife is just not. That's not who his wife is. His wife is not. You know what I'm saying? His wife is a lesbian. But he can't. It's the 60s, 50s, 60s. He just can't, accept that, they're separated, to punishing her. That's the thing. He wants to punish her in his feelings. It's awkward. This is awkward city. She has to say, it's late night. So he's taking his daughter that late at night. This kid is adorable. Kids in movies are adorable. Their kid voice is just so freaking adorable. He can't let go of his wife. Harge is not... She says she doesn't want to go with you, Harge. Harge is being very difficult. It's just so... By the way, this is so awkward. This is so awkward. You've been invited. You have that, but you've been invited to someone's house out in the countryside, whatever, not countryside, but and their partner comes in and it's their ex-partner, whatever, and it's awkward as fuck. So he's creating an argument with her to the point where Therese has to turn up the radio so that she drowns him out. How many cigarettes? So Harge eventually leaves with the kid. Carol walks in. It's awkward. It's so awkward. You're in an unfamiliar place, and then the people that own the house are fighting, and you have no way of getting back home because you know what I'm saying. It's awkward. Therese says maybe I should catch a cab. Carol comments on not having enough cigarettes. Meanwhile, they smoke so often in the 50s and 60s. So how many cigarettes a day are you smoking? Jeez. Therese says, I'll go get cigarettes. I'll go da-da-da. Carol is very short with her so that you don't have to do that, da-da-da-da. I'll drive you to the station, blah, 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 blah. But the thing with Therese is she wants to make it better, but she can't make it better. It's unfortunate, but she's trying. But anyway, so Carol is dropping Therese back home or back to the station where she can. Okay, so she's at a station. I think because of how awkward it is. Oh yes, this is the scene, and another prominent scene where Therese is gonna start crying. She's on the train and she's crying, and I think Carl is gonna call her and apologize. Oh my God, I love when actors. Oh my God, I already watched the movie. Why am I getting emotional? Why am I getting? This is the power of actors, because I already watched this movie. Again, I haven't watched it in a while, so because and it seemed like Therese and Carol didn't have any conversation in the car, so it was just awkward. She wants to make it better. Therese wants to make it better. She can't make it better. She's sad. She's on the train, and she finally breaks down and cry. And the way that she's crying, this movie is I'm gonna keep repeating it. This movie is a classic, okay? It's a classic. I'm so happy this movie was created. It's a classic. And this is another shot. This is another great shot. And Therese is crying. It's the way that Rooney Mara is crying. It just, this movie. Her nose is red. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Her nose is red. She's crying. She's really crying. Her hand is shaking. Wait a minute. I don't remember most of it. I remember the shot of her crying. Her nose is red. She's crying. She's trying to hold it in. Her hand is shaking. She has snot. I see her wipe her face. Her snot is on her fingers. Her nose is very red though. But if I remember correctly, I think that Carol calls Therese to apologize for being short with her. Wait a minute. It's the same night Therese finally reaches home. Was that the same night? I thought it was the next day. Wait a minute. Carol calls her the same night? Oh my God. I thought it was the next or 2 days later. Therese just reached home. She's walking up the steps. The phone is ringing in the hallway. I guess I was remembering it differently. Carol calls Therese, timing her to see how long she would reach home. Oh, she called her the same night. Oh. Why am I getting emotional? I already watched this movie in 2016. Why am I getting emotional? I'm getting emotional. Why am I getting emotional? Jesus, it's such a classic. I'm guessing, you know what? This movie is gonna be, I'm gonna put it on the list, because the same way I can watch Titanic multiple times and cry at the end of the movie, this movie is part of that movie, my list of movies where I can watch it multiple times, and I still get the emotions. And that's a testament to the acting, the story, the direction, the everything. The cinematography, the soundtrack, the everything. I can watch Titanic and Carol now, both of these movies, I put them on the same list. I can watch them once a year and cry and get emotional at the same beats. I was watching Titanic 2 weeks ago, and my 50th time watching Titanic, and I get emotional when the ship is sinking, because part of it is human nature, what human beings go through, and death and facing death, and maybe those themes are just going to be very emotional for me. But I cried when the ship is sinking, and everything that happens after the ship is sinking. I still cry. Jack dies, I still cry. I still get emotional. Carol is gonna be I'll put Carol on my list of classic movies that I can always rewatch, and that's gonna be, right here in my heart. Carol is one of those. Titanic is one of those. Why I literally have to? Why am I crying? I already watched this movie. Why am I crying? Oh my God, I'm crying. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why? Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Oh, my eyes are watering. Oh, wow. Oh geez. Carol's on the phone, and her right hand is she's smoking, her right hand is shaking. And she said, "Can I come see you?" Da 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 da. Therese is also what Therese says that gets me. Let me rewind it real quickly. It's also what Therese says that gets me. Let's see here.
I mean, I want to ask you things, but I'm not sure that you want that.
Ask me things, please.
She's such a sweet soul. She says, she forgives her. Carl said, "Do you forgive me? I was horrible. Can you forgive me?" She says, "Well, yes." The way that she said it, it was just the politeness of it all. It was just so okay. I want to ask you things I'm not sure that you want me to ask or whatever. Yeah, oh my God. Ask me. Carol says, ask me. Again, the camera hasn't gone necessarily to, it's still on, the camera is still on Carol. And we're hearing Therese. Why am I so gay?
I'm just like, can you not be gay for 5 minutes?
Why the fuck am I such a lesbian? Why am I such a lesbian? Jesus. And then Carol says, ask me. She's crying. I'm just noticing this. She's crying. Ask me, please.